Alright, so the first thing to realize with this cylinder is even though it's still the same form as the one we just did with the upright cylinder, your light is still coming from the upper right hand side, but now the light's going to be hitting that differently. So your darkest area is going to be right underneath that widest point. So think about if you had a can laying on its side, you have that widest point where there's going to be light hitting the top part, but then underneath it's going to be in shadow. So I am putting that dark stripe in to show where the dark shadow would be, and then blend that out towards the top with a nice gradient, and blend underneath that line with a gradient as well. Once you kind of figure out where the placement of your values will be along that side, then you can go ahead and work on matching those towards the edges. So again, starting with the darkest area on that middle part, and then blending it up and blending it down. Your darkest shadow along that dark shadow line is going to be where your 4 will go. You'll have a 3 on either side, including mostly down to the bottom. A 2 will be about a quarter of the way down, and then moving into a 1 up on top, where your lightest value will be. You're just going to be spending some time going through matching those values. You can see mine's kind of choppy right now, but the more you go in and you layer the pencil, the more blended and better looking it's going to be. This entire one took me about 5 minutes, so if it takes you much less than that, again, you probably need to slow down and take your time to do a good job. So if it takes you, 10 to 15 minutes to get it done correctly, then let it take the 10 to 15 minutes so that way you do a nice job. Okay, so again, just kind of moving along, blending things out, going in a different direction than I did before, kind of like we did with the upright cylinder, just trying to get those pencil lines blended out. When you are going in the opposite direction, so in that case going from top to bottom or vertically, like I'm doing right now, notice that the angle of my line kind of changes to follow the curve of the cylinder. If you have it go straight across, then you're going to kind of lose some of that illusion of the curving of the cylinder. I did get some areas where my pencil line, because my pencil was too sharp, it kind of left some striations or marks of pencil, but if you only have one or two of those, it's fine. As long as most of it's blended and you have the values in the correct spot, you're going to be fine. Okay, and then our last area, because the shadow or the light is coming from the upper right, this left side, this left end of the cylinder is going to be in complete shadow, so that we're going to go in and do nice and dark as a level 4 value. So just go in nice and dark. Notice that I'm gripping the pencil closer to the tip of the pencil and pressing as hard as I can to get a nice dark value. And you're done.